is a Varsity Update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Cameron Jourdan, high school sports writer, man on the scene for all 5 championship games at Wantland Stadium this past weekend. Let's talk about that, Cameron. 5 11-man state championship games played over a course of 2 days. You saw a lot of really good games. There were some fantastically competitive games. What stands out to you about what you saw on the field? Great players, great moments. I mean, like I said, you saw a lot of good games, too.
There were plenty of fantastic games, and I was thinking about this last night. I was looking through some of our photographers' photos from the game and looking through some of our stories and through some of the stats. There's 3 really big plays that stand out. I think the first one happened Friday night. Quantrell Walker's from Stillwater running back, junior running back at Stillwater, had a 79-yard touchdown run, which I firmly believe, if you haven't seen the video, you got to go find it. One of the best runs in state championship history. Wow. He breaks multiple tackles, almost loses his balance like 3 times, and eventually evades a tackle from Bixby's Brennan Presley, who was the most outstanding player during that game, but it was just an incredible run. The second one happened in the first game on Saturday, 11 a.m. between Tulsa Lincoln Christian and Plainview. Colby Katsis, a wide receiver for Lincoln Christian, made an incredible one-handed grab that put Lincoln Christian down to the 3-yard line, and they scored on the next play. And it was in the second half, and that really gave them all the momentum to kind of pull away and win the state title. The third biggest play that I saw was something that I've never seen before, and I actually was texting Carl Albert coach Mike Corley about this yesterday, asking him, because I still can't believe it. Kobe Cruz, who's a junior defensive back for Carl Albert, blocked a field goal attempt. When he sticks his hands up to go block it, though, he catches the ball in his hands in stride, running full sprint, and just goes to the end zone and takes it back. Never seen anything like it. The ball didn't bobble, anything. It just gets in his hands and he runs, and everybody was kind of confused when it initially happened, but it was an incredible play. And those 3 it's stuff that you see at state championship games, and that's something that being able to watch all the games at one site, everybody was able to witness those if they went to many of the games.
And of the 5 games, there was really only one that either team got distance, and one that early game on Saturday was kind of Tulsa Lincoln Christian had some distance, but the rest of the games competitive, a lot of them into the fourth quarter. You wondered what was going to happen. And you talk about the great plays and the great games, everything at one site. What was the scene like? How did it go as far as this first time at UCO to have all the games there?
I was really interested to kind of see how this would go, as was most everybody in the state, because you think the general fan is going to be really excited to go watch a bunch of these games, but then you're going to have teams that really show up. The 2 biggest crowds that stood out, obviously, the 2-night games, 6A1 and 6A2. Owasso Jinx probably had the most people of anybody who was there. They packed the stadium really full. Owasso fans had the wayside completely full and had a ton of seating on the berm on the south end of the end zone. And Jinx fans also filled the home stands as much as they were filled the entire weekend. But when you look at the stands, when you look at overall, Poto and Weatherford, that 1 p.m. Friday game, everybody was wondering what the crowds would look like for that game. That was one of the best atmospheres, probably the best atmosphere of any of the games. Both those towns shut down, packed buses, loaded everybody here. It was a really loud environment, plus a 9-7 game. Defensive battle, fantastic game. It doesn't look as fun as probably the Bixby-Stillwater game that night just because of the offense, but that game was a fantastic way to kick off the weekend. The crowd was a really excellent thing this weekend. I think everybody really enjoyed having the games at one site. The fans really appreciated it. UCO was able to handle crowds, getting everybody on the field to celebrate after, getting the next games going. They handled that really, really well, and I think the weekend overall was fantastic.
Well, we get a slight second go of it this weekend. Only 2 games, only 1 day, so a little bit different, but the last 2, the smallest 11-man classes, 2A and A, set to go on Saturday. What are you expecting out of these 2 matchups, Cam?
I think the Class A game has a chance to be really good. Ringling is a team that not many people expected to be in this position, but they're going to be there playing cash. And Ringling under Coach Philip Coons, he finds a way to win. There's a reason he's one of the most successful coaches in Oklahoma history. He has the Blue Devils just rolling right now, and there's a reason that they're in the state title game. But then you have Cashin, who had 21 of 22 returning starters from last year. Almost everybody expected them to be in this position. Here they are. Can Coach Lynn Shackelford get his first state title? That's the big question for Cashin. They've been rolling. They faced an undefeated Pawnee team who really hadn't been tested up until last week, and they beat them by almost 3 touchdowns. So that's the first big game.
Yeah.
And then the night game, like you said, is Vian Metro Christian. that's going to be a matchup of a fantastic offense. Tulsa Metro Christian's offense is incredible with Asher Link at quarterback against Vian's defense, which has shut out everybody this year. Even Lincoln Christian, when those two teams played, Lincoln had to score a late touchdown, but that was their lowest offensive output of the year, and Vian really tested them playing up a class. So that one's going to be really fun to see. If it's offense versus defense, that's going to be the big key in that game.
I'm not going to ask you if you'll be there, because I know you will. The only question is, are you going to take a cot and have to take a nap at any point this weekend?
We'll see. I may have to go up to the roof if the weather's nice and just take a quick power nap between games. But, it's we'll see how that happens. I have a few days to figure out my plans.
All right. Okay. We'll continue to have coverage of the upcoming state championship games, so be sure to stick with us. Stay with the best coverage team anywhere at oklahoman.com every day in the Oklahoma.